Hello YouTube and welcome to Tech Blitz. So this is a pretty much a brand new channel, and so what I'm going to be going over in this video is I want to explain this new channel. Obviously if you're here you know this is a new channel, first video, and what this channel is going to be about. So it's going to be about, you know, tech, computer, troubleshooting, programs, editing, modding, anything that would require computer programs, things like that. I'm going to show you, how to use different programs, how to do different things. Whatever you're looking for is probably going to be on here in the future. So in the comments, let me know what you would like to see on this channel. Now this specific video is part 1 of a series for game modding, and we're going to be going over modding New Vegas. And in this very first video I'm going to be going over the performance and stability mods, some of the mods that are the most important ones you need to have before you can add any other ones, because it's not gonna work per se. It's gonna help for frame rate, stability, game crashes, bug fixes, things like that. I'm gonna be going over in this very first video, so make sure you stay tuned for part 2, and let's get into it, guys. So what I'm going to be going over is some of the programs that you're going to want to do or have installed before we can do anything else. So I'll have a link in the description for all of these things. So the first thing you want to do is you want to install Mod Organizer 2. So this is the mod organization tool that I use for adding mods and downloading them and installing them. So you type it in Google, it'll bring you here. If you click Nexus Mods Skyrim Edition, it'll bring you here. So you want to go to Files, and then you'll see 2 files here. You want to install the installer one here, manual download. And now when this comes up and is downloaded, you'll want to install the program. It'll give you a bunch of prompts, just hit accept and everything like that, and it'll ask you where you want to install it. Go ahead and do that. So what I recommend is installing it on the same hard drive that your Fallout New Vegas is on, because if you don't, then it'll have to actually read it from 2 different hard drives, because it will read the game, it'll try to read the mods from a separate drive, and it'll increase load times. So once you have Mod Organizer 2 installed and Fallout New Vegas installed, and you launch, and now what you want to do is launch Fallout New Vegas at least 1 time. Okay, so that it creates a folder in your game directory. So the first thing you want to do is you'll want to open up Mod Organizer, okay, and it'll take you to this. It'll say choose instance or create new instance. Now if your Fallout New Vegas is installed properly and everything is good to go, it should just have Fallout New Vegas like right here, the second or third one down. It'll give you an option for Fallout New Vegas right off the bat. You want to go ahead and click that. Okay. Now once it's created that and you're in there, let me go ahead and click off all my, these are all my mods. I'm going to go ahead and click these off for right now and go over them one by one with you guys. So I'm going to go over every mod in this series. I'm going to go over what they do, the ones I have, the ones I recommend and don't recommend here, and the order that, you know, they're going to have to want to be in order to function properly. So as you can see, I was going to download, I think we're going to go over, I think about 63 mods that I'm going to go over with you guys. So once you actually have Fallout New Vegas installed, okay, you're going to want to find the directory. Leave mod organizer here for right now. You're going to want to find this directory for your game. So here's the order for the directory that I have, okay? So obviously it's got this PC, then this is my Z drive, the drive that it's installed on, and then games. You're gonna want to find Steam apps folder, okay, and then the Steam apps folder you're gonna want to find common, and then you're gonna want to find Fallout New Vegas. So once you found that folder here, Fallout New Vegas, what I just did was I pinned it to my start menu here, so you can have quick access to it, or if you prefer, just drag that to your desktop and just have quick access to this directory file for the game, because you're going to need it. So now we're going to go into the performance mods, if you will, things like that you're going to want to install, okay? So let's go back to this. Well, actually we don't need to go here right now. What you're going to do is go into Mod Organizer now. Okay, now this little globe here at the top will bring you to this Nexus mods network, and they'll, in the game that you're on, the instance that you chose per se, like when you open up Mod Organizer, click New Vegas, this will be the instance, okay? And then that'll just bring you, if you click the globe, it'll bring you straight to the mod website for Fallout New Vegas. We're going to use Nexus mods because it's one of the most popular, works best for me. Now, go to the search bar. Okay, and you're going to want to find the 4 GB patch. Okay, search for that, and you want to search for the, now I'm going to leave a link in the description for it. You're going to want to find, alright, here it is. So obviously under utilities, I'll have a link in the description for this. You're going to want to find the one by this Roy Batterian. Alright, so go ahead and click on that. So what this does is it increases the RAM limit for the game, so you can read it for yourself. Go to files. Now this is going to take a manual download. Okay guys, so when you get here into the 4 GB patcher, the first thing you want to do is, you know, download the manual download here. Now go back to your Mod Organizer 2. Now what you're going to want to do to install this once you've downloaded that 4 GB patcher, we actually skipped a step. Let me go over that here real quick. So obviously before you actually could have gotten to this part of the video, what you're going to want to do is create an account here, which you have to do in order to download these. Alright, so go ahead and just create an account here for Nexus Mods. Now you don't have to pay for it. I'm sure if you guys have seen any other mod videos before or something like that in that nature, you don't have to pay for an account here for Mod Organizer. It's going to ask you to just go ahead and skip it, and then it'll let you register for a free account. So once you've done that, it will then, let you download and do things from there. So then, you go find your 4 GB patcher, which is this, by this Rosewill. That's the only one you want to use. It's the most up to date. Then once it's downloaded with your manual download here, you want to go back into Mod Organizer, and I think under one of these, nope, not that one. Yeah, so you want to click on the little tool and wrench, and you want to get here. So just some more little setups for your paths on Mod Organizer, like where your directories are going to go, for where these things are going to be downloaded to, and things of that nature. So the base directory here is going to be your Fallout New Vegas directory file. So where you found your game at is going to be your base directory. Well, this base directory will be the game per se. It'll find the game, and then it'll find the launcher for it. For the most part, you really could just leave this all to default. I changed a few of them. We don't really need to go over that. You should be okay with where the default is. You just might have a little bit of trouble finding, where the paths are. But obviously, if you leave it at default, it'll give you like app data. It'll bring up the directory for the game. It'll actually have everything listed here for you. So if you have any trouble finding anything in this paths folder, or where something's going, where something's being downloaded to, or things of that nature, open this up here and then go to paths, and then just find out, your downloads, mods, caches, profiles, and overwrites, where they're going. Search them up in your file manager. You'll be able to find them just fine. And one more thing I'm gonna go over here is you want to click on Nexus. So this is going to allow Mod Organizer 2 to connect with the website. So here it'll ask you, once you've created your account and you've registered on Mod or Nexus mods, and you have the account created that you're going to use, you went through that process, you're going to want to log in on that here. So here to me it says Nexus API key stored. So if you haven't done it, it'll actually say log in. So you're just going to want to log into the same account you just created, log in, and then it'll connect, and then it'll let you use or download things from the website directly into Mod Organizer 2. So let's go over just some of these. Okay, so that's everything to do for having Mod Organizer 2 set up and ready to go fully. Now, so when you've done that, you've got your 4 GB patchers still installed, or downloaded rather. What you're going to want to do is, since this is a manual download here, program, okay, in order to open this 4 GB patcher, you're going to want to find a program called 7-zip. Okay, I will leave a link in the description for this. You're going to want to find this 7-zip. Okay, now up here you have your 32-bit Windows and your 64-bit Windows. So you want to download this executable 64-bit 7-link file, set that up. It'll give you a few instructions there. Now once you've got that done, it will allow you to open this 4 GB patcher. Alright, I believe I still have that on my desktop. So this here is the 4 GB patcher. So once you've downloaded it, drag it to your desktop. Make sure you have 7-zip. If your little icon here doesn't come up like the 7-zip icon, that means you haven't installed your 7-zip correctly. Open it up. Now once that's opened, it'll give you these two little things here. You want to copy these, and then you want to open up your Fallout New Vegas directory, which we created earlier in the video. You're just going to want to drag these two and just drag them over into the Fallout New Vegas directory. I'm not going to do it again. I did it once. So you drag it over there into the directory of the Fallout New Vegas directory, and then you may get rid of that and then put that to the side, and your 4 GB patcher should be installed. So the last thing that we want to do to get this up and running is, once you've pulled those files in here, it'll give you an extra little number in here that says Fallout NV patch. That's the one you're going to want to look for specifically. So you're going to want to double click that. Alright. And then it'll bring you up a little black screen, like a black command prompt. And once it's done loading, it'll say press any key to continue. Just go ahead, press any key to continue, and it will finalize the 4 GB patch installation, and you should be good to go on the 4 GB patch. Now, mod number 2, or step number 2 per se. And this is not, it's going to be a different place than the Nexus mod. So you want to type in NVSE here on Google instead of Nexus mods, and I'll leave a link for this separate website in the description. So it's going to be nvsesilverlock.org, the first pop-up New Vegas script extender. Now what you're going to want to do is going to be pretty close to the same setup as before, and you're going to want to come down here. It's going to say download stable version. So this is going to be the newest version of this. Go ahead and click download, and just like the previous 4 GB patcher, it's going to say here that you want to use 7-zip to extract the archive. Don't use anything from the Windows App Store. Now, I'm sure you're probably having a ton of trouble getting 7-zip to work or do whatever you want to do. I don't know if you've made it this far yet without being able to get 7-zip on the 4 GB patcher, but if you click this little thing here, it will take you to that same website that I gave you earlier. Again, download it, and it says do not use anything else from the Windows App Store, because if you do, you're going to have some massive problems. Trust me. It says 7-zip to extract the archive. I don't think that you had to extract anything, guys. Pretty much, if you have 7-zip downloaded on your hard drive correctly, just open it up, make sure that it's installed properly, and it should just let you download this, drag it to your desktop, and then when you have that file on your desktop, it'll come up as a 7-zip desktop icon. That's how you know that it's right. So once that's done and it's downloaded, you open that up. Same thing as before, but you want to click on that first folder that says NVSE, and then it'll bring you all the rest of the files inside this. Keep your directory for Fallout New Vegas here to the side. Again, copy all these. You want to include this SRC, okay? Drag them all over into the directory, make sure they're copied over, and then you may get rid of that. And like I said, guys, if you don't have 7-zip right, or you don't have it extracted like it says, which I don't think you really have to do anything with the extract, but if it ain't right, you'll want to click on the download file, and then with the right click, and try to find extract somewhere, and it should extract it and just open it up for you to this point here. You won't have to open it up from the desktop if you extract it, I believe. But if you just drag it to the desktop, you should be able to open it right from the desktop like so. You shouldn't have to extract anything, guys. It extracts it by itself if you have 7-zip installed on your computer. Okay. So in order to test this to make sure the game is functioning and works for you, you want to come down here and find NVSE loader. There's going to be more than one of them. You want to click the one that says application. Go ahead and click that. And if your game comes up, your game launches, works properly, then you are in the clear to move on to the next step. If it doesn't, then you had some kind of error up to this point, or something isn't installed right, and maybe just go back through the beginning of this video, see if you missed any steps or something, or the game just isn't, if something isn't installed right, you might have to restart the whole process. There's not much I can do if it doesn't really work there. But the NVSE loader here application, if everything's installed correctly, it should just launch the game and you should have no problems. So let's move on to the next step. New Vegas anti-crash mod. And that should come up on your Nexus mod website. NVAC. Alright. Go to files. And this does exactly, what you think it does. Anti-crash. Okay, so go to mod organizer. So to install this, it's going to actually be different from the other two. So when you're in mod organizer, alright, to see the mods that you are installing from the website, hence why we went to the thing here earlier, went to our Nexus and linked these. In order to see, what you're downloading and installing to mod organizer from the website, you're going to want to go here and click on downloads. Okay. Now to install this New Vegas anti-crash, you have two options here, because this one can be installed directly into mod organizer and not into the directory of the game. So when you do this, you click mod manager download, and that should prompt you on your web browser. I'll show you. It should prompt you to use this NXM link proxy. You want to hit yes. For in my case, I'm just going to hit no. I don't need to redo it. And then it should download automatically. And if it doesn't, there's a manual button there. And it should come up in your download section here on this box. As you can see, it says for me status installed. I will actually do this one just to show you guys what it looks like. And now when you do it, it'll come up. Your new file will receive a different name. That's fine. And then it'll say downloaded. When you click that, okay, it'll come up here. You want to double click it when it says downloaded, and then to install it, it'll say here install or manual. You always want to click manual. Okay. Now, once you get to this little dialog here, in our case, it says right here, then green, it says it looks good. Okay, if that says looks good there, you can just click OK and it'll be installed and ready to go. If it does not say looks good, then do not click OK. Okay, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to find the uppermost checkbox, right click it. Alright, don't find the second or third box down, find the uppermost box that has a check mark here. Right click on it and hit Set Data Directory. And then that should change it till it looks good. And if it doesn't, there'll be another, once you do this the first time, there'll be another set of checkboxes. Click the uppermost box and hit Set Data Directory again on the second list, and then it should say it looks good. So just keep doing that as many times until it says looks good. If it doesn't do that ever and it goes to the end and there's no more checkboxes, it still says, comes up in red, go cancel. You want to cancel this off, open it again, and then do it on the second tick box. Hit Set Data Directory, and then it'll work. Trust me. Worked through every mod I've had. Just keep working down the list. If the first set of lists doesn't work, do the second tick box down, and then proceed to the first tick box in the second and third list. And then if that doesn't work, move to the third list, whatever. You don't really need these README texts, but that should get this up and going. In my case, I'm going to cancel. Now, once that is installed, it should then pop up over here to the left. I'm going to cancel that off. On the left, go ahead and click it, check mark it. Then you'll know that it is indeed acquired and ready to go. So, you got New Vegas anti-crash. If you like, go ahead and launch the game, see if it functions. You don't have to do that right now. It might not, because you have several different ways to launch the game from here. You can run it from this program, but for now, you should be alright. Go ahead and continue to the next step, which is, okay, so this is actually the right one. I got confused here for just a minute. New Vegas Stutter Remover by Sky Ranger 1. Yes. Files. Now, I'm gonna make a disclaimer. I think I already was just speaking about this. If you have Windows 7, go right ahead and continue with this step. New Vegas Stutter Remover. If you have Windows 10, skip this part of the video to the next part, because I got a different version of this for Windows 10, because this New Vegas Stutter Remover is not going to be fully compatible with Windows 10 operating systems. This here is not mainly for Windows 7 or older. So go ahead, same process, Mod Manager download, it'll come up here in your thing. Again, double click Manual, and follow the steps like I said before previous. Right click, Set Data Directory, and then it'll come up here. So for me, I'm using Windows 10, and I'm not going to use NVSR, New Vegas Stutter Remover, because it's not really compatible with my operating system. So, the fix that we're going to use for Windows 10 would be the one underneath of it. New Vegas Tick Fix. So this is very similar to the Stutter Remover, only it's more geared towards compatibility for Windows 10. Now it's missing a few of the features that the stutter remover has. Now between the two of these, the aim of this whole portion of these two mods, the aim of the two of these is to reduce stutter, frame spikes, bugs where you have uncontrollable frame problems where it's like really bad, stutters, tick problems, things like that. And if you read the description of it, they'll give you a more detailed description of what they do. So you can't use both of these, obviously. I just mentioned in this video, Windows 7 you want to use the NVSR that I showed. Windows 10 you want to use this tick fix. And it says here under their description, necessary to remove NVSR if you use this mod, otherwise they would clash. And it says here, if you're using Windows 7, stick with NVSR, and it will tell you why. Now, you're going to want to go ahead and click Files if you're doing this tick fix for Windows 10. Same process. Mod Manager download. Fairly straightforward. It'll come into your Mod Manager. Double click, and then it'll come here once you've manually installed it, and check the new Vegas tick fix. Done. So next, bug fixes. The main one, which is very well known, GIGABYTE unofficial patch. Okay, so you want to find it. You want to type in YUP instead of spelling it out, and then you want to find the very first one by GIGABYTE. Click them, and if you read the description, it has a ton of bug fixes. I can't recommend this more. I really can't. So go to Files. Now it'll say base game and all DLC. If you have all DLC, click it. If you don't, well, you want to come down to optional files, and then version 11.6, individual, Mod Manager download. If you have all the DLC, click this first one. Yep, base game and all DLC, Mod Manager download. And it will then come here, click install, and it'll come up here as GIGABYTE unofficial patch YUP. Go ahead and click it. Now you can have this order. So obviously I still have two more to show you, which is one tweak and JIP. Okay, so that's the YUP. That is the main biggest patch fix known to date. Now once you've downloaded YUP, you're going to want to download the patch to YUP, and that is the unofficial patch NVSE. Alright, now obviously, like I said before, this requires NVSE. You have to get NVSE, New Vegas Script Extender, before you can do most of these other mods. So this is the patch to YUP, or fixes things that weren't in YUP per se. So go ahead and download this. Official patch NVSE by the True Void Walker. Go ahead and install that. Check it, and then let's move on. So we got the unofficial patch to that. Now I have two more. One tweak it is just how it says it. One tweak for Fallout New Vegas. So this is, you know, double cursor fix, borderless window. What this is gonna do is it actually lets you, I think it's the Alt Tab. The Fallout New Vegas vanilla game doesn't want you to Alt Tab, or it goes haywire. If you install this mod, all it really does is let you Alt Tab out of the game and use other windows without any problems. So go ahead, download that, check it. One tweak for NVSE. Next mod, the GIP new NVSE plugin. So with GIP here, this is the one you want to click. GIP LN NVSE plugin, the guy with the clown outfit. You want to click this one. So what this is the New Vegas script extender. This is the extension to it. This is like basically part 2 of the NVSE, which you're going to need as well as NVSE for it. 800 plus new functions, otherwise unusable if you don't install this mod GIP. There's a bunch of mods that you won't be able to install without this. It's a compatibility mod that unlocks compatibility for other mods, so to speak. So mod manager, download that. It'll come up here, install it manually, and tick your GIP. Okay. Now the swimming and rebreather restoration, you can go ahead and skip it. Alright. So let's go to the next step, which is the new mesh. So what this is called is not new mesh, but nav mesh. Now I believe it's nav mesh fixes and improvements. I actually don't have this one installed for some reason, guys, so I'll go through the full step for you. So it fixes every edge where the edge connections were missing and pointing and misplaced. So it's just like mesh fixes with NPCs and things like that. That's probably why I don't have it. A few more fixes. So mod manager, downloaded this, hit yes, and just like I showed you, it'll come up here in your downloads. Go ahead and double click. Manual, looks good. Okay. Check it and bring the nav mesh fixes up. You don't have all these, but I do. Bring that up. Alright guys, so that actually will sum up this video. Next video, I'm gonna be going over the user interface mods to help clean this up just a little bit. And then I'm gonna go over some INI preferences and settings that we're gonna tweak through mod manager. I hope this video helped you out, guys. I hope you've been able to, follow along with me, as this is my first video on this channel. I hope you were able to follow along with me on this. Feel free to leave any questions or comments in the comments and description here. Let me know what you guys think so far, if you guys have been able to do this. And I will see you in the next one with the user interface mods and the INI preferences that I have set up and the ones you want to change. I will catch you in the next one, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.